I'm Billy Soul. Welcome to this special presentation, Time Warner Cable's presentation of celebrating Lane Field. Lane Field is located in West Akron on the old Wooster Avenue and East Avenue. Wooster Avenue is now known as Vernon Odom Boulevard. Lane Field is in close proximity to the Wooster Library and with Miller South School. Joining me today to talk about this great celebration that's going to be taking place on Saturday, May 17th, is three-time Olympian Butch Reynolds, also John Hafford, who is district coordinator with the Akron Recreation Bureau. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here.
John, we'd like to begin with you to talk about this great celebration that's going to be taking place very shortly. Celebrating Lane Field. Actually, it's a rededication of Lane Field. It's been completely remodeled and restructured. John, how did you get involved with this particular project?
Well, as a City of Akron employee, I'm involved in quite a few recreation community events, and it just so happens that's my community. I live there. So most mornings when the weather's decent, I'm out there walking at Lane Field. And I just enjoy it so much that I just wanted to share it with the community. I got on my nephew, Perry Jeffries, and asked him what he thought about an idea of having an event that would bring the community down. And it just developed from there. I went to our Deputy Service Director, Lindsey Armstrong, and shared that vision with him. And we're here today planning for this event. It's very exciting.
How long had you been walking there at Lane Field?
I think sometime last year, once they cut the fence that was around it and just kind of opened it up to the public, last summer I started walking there. Before I was in my neighborhood, I walk, and just different places, just a heart healthy exercise that keeps you going every day. So
now, for our viewers who's not aware of what Lane Field is all about, Lane Field has pardon me, has been in place in West Akron for quite some time. It was directly connected to Lane School that was there in that area that was torn down a number of years ago. Started out probably in the early to mid 60s with the Lane Improvement Association, community organizers getting together to make that field habitable for young people, for children. And over the years, the field has been used for various activities, community activities, as well as basketball, things of that nature. And it has gone through, you may say, a great facelift. They've completely redone that area. And that's what we're talking about today on this program. The rededication is going to take place on May 17th. John and Butch are involved in helping to put together this celebration. And John was just telling us how the city of Akron got involved in making this a day of celebration. Now, Butch Reynolds, three-time Olympian, is also involved in this project. He's going to be there on that day. Butch, how did you get involved in coming to celebrate the new Lane Field?
Well, believe me, in my 3 years of coming back to Akron, I've shared a lot of vision with John. And it's one of the visions that John shared with me was walk with the family, hope for children. And whenever he knows you talk about children or family, that's right up my alley. So I said, you know, I'm all for it. The foundation is all for it, behind you. And he said he needs somebody to walk in particular hours. So we're there to fill in where he might not have people walking in certain hours, because it's a 12-hour walk, 8 to 8. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So we'll be there full force to help support the walk and help support different communities coming out.
Now, you're talking about an event within an event. This is a 12-hour walk.
It's going to raise awareness for adoption and foster care. We have this Summit County Children's Board that they're going to be handing out literature and information. They'll be speaking on opportunities for adoption and foster care. And we're going to try to get the whole community out and just get everybody involved in a community gathering and just building a caring community within Akron.
Now, on that day, the Akron Recreation Showmobile is going to be at Lane Field. There's going to be entertainment there, and there's going to be a special dedication. Now, while the walk is going on, the walk begins at 8 a.m. Who's going to be involved in that walk? John?
We have one of the groups that probably inspired me most is the Ida B. Wells Community Academy. They're one of our special sponsors for this event. They're going to bring their kids, their staff. They'll be walking. We have also community leaders that we're going to be walking hours in recognition of their names. Like Helen Arnold, her family will be walking. The Ed Davis family will be walking. The Vernon Odom family, and in conjunction with the Urban League, they'll be out in force. And it's just going to be a great opportunity for us to come and gather, see old friends and faces, and just make it a joyous occasion.
Now, you talked about various community leaders here in the city of Akron. Each hour is going to represent some African American leader, and so whoever walks within that hour will be walking for that particular person. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Now, monies are going to be raised by these young people for the amount of time that they're going to be walking, whether they walk a number of laps. How is that going to work with individuals that are going to be donating money?
We're going to leave that option up to them as to how they want to donate, and then we'll have CSB will be there to work with them on how they'd like to make that donation to them. I'd like for it to go for their activity fund, just so those kids can get out in the community and just have a lot of positive programs and activities to be involved in.
There are many children here in Summit County that are in foster care, and many that also need adoption. And this is what this is all about, awareness. These monies are going to go into making it so that the community will have more information on adoption, what adoption is all about, what foster care is all about, and how one can become involved in those particular issues. I see, whether it's in a newspaper, in an ad, I see many, many children, especially African American children, that are in need of adoption. And what we're trying to do is to make the entire community aware of this particular issue, and also hopefully it'll make some individuals and some families sensitive, and perhaps persuade them to at least look in that direction. There are many couples that are childless and may not be able to have any children of their own. Adoption is one of the options for them. So this is what this is really all about.
And this is really a true celebration of a sports complex. This is a state-of-the-art sports complex. We can't forget that too.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that as well.
Right, because when people come, they're going to see it's not about an east side, west side, north side, south side thing. It's coming together as one. So when they start playing a Pee Wee football, remember, family and parents, we're here as one. We're here to bring it together, not to tear up, but to build up.
John, let's talk about that complex idea, the sports complex. I was there, and I noticed that you have a number of different sports that young people and even adults can come out and play there at Lane Field. Can you elaborate on some of the things that are in place there at Lane Field?
What's new and unique there is inline skating ring.
Oh.
Inline hockey
Okay.
type thing, and we're going to have a bunch of kids. We have a group coming up from Canton to do a demonstration. Kids immediately saw the flyer. They asked me how they could get involved. They got really excited about it. That was a nice day last week, and kids were on their inline skates and coming up to me, and they wanted to practice and get involved in it. So I think that's going to be really nice. We have an inner city youth soccer club that's going to be there doing a demonstration. Say Yes to Tennis. They're going to be doing their program on the tennis court. We have some softball, youth softball, and baseball that's going to be taking place on that day too, just to let the community know what all is available at that sports complex. So throughout the day, it's just going to be a great event. We have LeBron James participating in our Hot Shot Summit Lake. They're putting that on. So overall, it's just going to be a lot for the whole family. We have Arnold's Rib House. They're going to be cooking ribs up, and they'll be serving it up to the whole community, and they're looking forward to participating. So it's just going to be a lot for everyone to see and do, and enough to keep everybody busy and really entertain the whole day.
Now this is the newest sports complex here in the city of Akron, and it's going to cover just about every outdoor sport that there is. There's basketball, there's soccer, there is the inline skating, there's tennis, there's baseball, and also it will accommodate football as well.
Absolutely.
So it's also a place that people could come out. There are concession stands. There's a nice place for people to sit on a bench and have a hot dog that day and enjoy some refreshment. And because a lot of people, when you look at Akron and you talk about Lane Field or any of the other fields that there are out there, the first thing that comes to mind is a baseball field. But this is so much more than that. We also don't want to forget the fact that this is a great walking track.
Yes, it is.
Butch, have you walked on this particular track?
Oh, I've walked on it, jogged on it.
Okay.
And I have a track and field program, BR Road Runners, and Denise Brand is my director down there, and she's doing a great job. We have over 50 kids now. We have a track team, so those who want to participate, want their kids to participate, they can also come and register and join up for that as well. And that's through the city of Akron too.
Now, I understand that one of the West Akron baseball teams will be playing on that field once that field is ready for play, and there are many young people in West Akron that need recreation, and they need to find out what some of these teams are and become a part of those teams so that they can utilize that field and enjoy it just like anyone else. And of course, and I know there are going to be a lot of one-on-one games on those courts, or 2-on-2s, and also just some great street basketball that's going to be played there at Lane Field in the future. Now, we want to talk about 11 o'clock that day. Now, there's going to be a walk to benefit adopting children and, as well as foster care. That's going to happen between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. But at 11 a.m. there's going to be a special rededication of that field. And at that time, there are going to be some of the individuals that were involved in the original Lane Improvement Association in that area. They're going to be there to rededicate that field with a stone marker as well as a tree. Who else is going to be involved in this rededication, John?
Well, we have the mayor of Akron, our city council president, Marco Somerville. I've invited special guests, a member of our community group, Joe White, to be a part of that celebration. And we've invited a number of other community leaders to be involved as well. So it should be very exciting.
So this is going to bring together the old and the new individuals that were there at the original dedication of Lane Field in the mid-60s, and here we are in a new century and a new field with new generations, and it's going to really bring together that community. I also would like to add there were so many people involved in the original conception, and community groups that work there in the Lane Field area, in the Lane School area, and many of the people were teachers and administrators in the Akron School District, as well as working there at Lane. We're going to have some of those people there, and there's going to be a moment, I don't know if you know about this or not, John, that we're going to read the names of as many of those individuals that we can compile. So we're asking the community to give us some names of individuals that have worked there, that have volunteered there at Lane Field in years past, and we're just going to take a few minutes, or as long as it takes. I guess I'm somewhere up around about 150 names right now.
Yeah.
But I just think that it's appropriate to just pause and to thank each individual that we can remember. Just say their names, and just read them. We're going to have the mayor read perhaps 10 or 15 names. Council President and Ward 3 Councilperson Marco Somerville, and we'll get some of the other dignitaries to do that, because it took an entire community to make that happen. I've seen pictures of what went on there at Lane Field in the mid-60s, and the various school superintendent, Conrad Ott, and others that were involved there, the principal of the school. And they also had an actual community coordinator for the Lane Improvement Association. So it was a great organized effort in that community, and we just want to make sure that as many individuals as possible get credit, that we can say their names, at least do that.
Absolutely.
You know, because it's a great community, and it's changing, and we want to take it into the future. Butch, what are you going to be doing on that particular day, May 17th, the rededication of Lane Field?
Well, you know, for sure, one of the biggest days of my life was when I brought the Olympic torch into Akron. So John, with the vision, asked me to make sure that I have the torch there, to bring to the ceremony. So each honoree or each person who we're mentioning, they can carry the torch around the track for that particular walk in that particular hour.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, it's wonderful that you're going to be involved in this. You know, someone that has made us proud here in Akron, representing us around the world in the Olympics. And then we have a young man coming up that's going to go represent us in sports and basketball, LeBron James. So it's wonderful that you're going to be there. He's going to be there. You know, I'm not going to say we're passing the torch, but it just goes to show that someone like you that has had past glory in sport, and now this young man is coming along, and people can meet you and see him, and just to show what this community is really all about.
Well, you know, there's people here in the Akron area who have had a lot of success in the athletic world that have motivated me. But you know, it's very important that, and I'm quite sure LeBron James knows now from experience that it changes your world. Yes. And a lot of these little kids coming up in that particular community has to know this. It's a dream, but it's a hard dream sometimes. It's a goal you set to achieve, and it's not easy to achieve goals. And you got to take the good with the bad. And I'm quite sure I know that through experience, and LeBron James is finding that out through experience too. And I'm quite sure he's going to do well. He has a good support group and a very strong mother. So whenever you have a strong mother behind you, you know, good things can happen.
Great. Now, we still have a few minutes left for the show, and I do want to get the telephone number in a couple of times before, because we want more young people to get involved in the walk-a-thon.
Absolutely.
John, what's the telephone number that individuals can call for more information?
That's 330-375-2805. Also, just like a special thank you to Lundy Armstrong, who really inspired me to go forward with this thing, and he's also been just so supportive in the process. I'd like to thank my bureau manager, Greg Kaleo, just a great guy to work with, and just been a tremendous help as well in making this happen.
That telephone number again for anyone that wants information, 375-2805, 375-2805. If you're interested in being involved in that walk, or just getting more information about that day, May 17th, that's on a Saturday, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., celebrating Lane Field. It's a rededication of a wonderful sports complex. We'd like to invite everyone in the entire Akron area to come out and see what Akron is doing. Akron is growing. Akron, the city of Akron, the Recreation Bureau are doing some wonderful things that are going to make some big differences in the lives of many individuals that, you know, want to be involved in sport or just want to go out and walk. I mean, that's one great thing about this track. You don't have to have a license or a permit to go there. If you want to walk, you want to exercise, and you don't have time to take a trek down to the towpath or some area like that. I mean, those are wonderful areas as well, but you need to get your walk in quickly. You can go down there at Lane Field, which is located at Vern Odom Boulevard and East Avenue, very close to the Worcester branch library, Worcester Avenue branch. I keep saying Worcester, but it's Worcester Avenue, and of course Miller School.
If I could just add tremendous parking opportunities, you can park anywhere along the facility.
It's a huge complex. It's
parking.
You know, there was probably even enough space to bring a lunch and a basket lunch and sit on the grass and enjoy that.
Yes.
Do want to talk about entertainment, though. This isn't just going to be people giving speeches and walking around the track. There's going to be some entertainment on that day as well, John.
Yes, we have Hafford Street Blues Band. They're going to be performing at 2 o'clock. I just talked to a gentleman who does a reenactment for Hale Farm, and he's going to come, and he'll be a person from the 1840s, and he'll tell you his story, and he's going to be at 5 p.m. I think it's going to be really exciting. He says he travels all throughout the state of Ohio doing this one-man show. I'm really excited about that. His wife's going to be doing Sojourner Truth or Harriet Tubman. I think Harriet Tubman, that's going to be interesting as well.
Now, we do want to reiterate that there are going to be some demonstrations as well, some sports demonstrations, just to show people, the facility and how to use that facility. I mean, it's really great. The grass, the field. We're talking about, a state-of-the-art facility. Now, this isn't just a baseball field. It just isn't just a football field. It just isn't a basketball court. This is something that anyone at any level of these sports could come out and enjoy.
Yeah, they must come to appreciate it. I mean, it's a state-of-the-art complex, and just for the walk, but throughout the whole year, I mean, there's going to be things going on, so come out, make this a part of your parks to see this summer for sure.
And there's also another thing going on that day. Akron Beacon Journal writer and author Carl Chancellor. He's going to be doing a book signing there, so we do want you to come out and to meet with Carl and to perhaps even get his book, read his book, because he's been with the Akron Beacon Journal for some time, and he's always a good read. He's always.
And I know Carl personally. And he's definitely a good writer. He's a good motivator, and he tells the story like it should be told. So I'm looking forward to reading his book and getting it signed as well.
Don't forget, there are going to be demonstrations there all day long, so you can come out and see some great activity, whether it's as far as basketball is concerned, a tennis demonstration, inline skating. Many of our young people, you see them with their skates and they're skating down the streets. Now they have a place to go. Now they have an activity, a real sports activity to get involved with. It's organized. So there's just so much to do on that day. Also, you'll be able to come by and meet so many people who were there in the beginning of Lane Field. And they're wonderful people. I've spent some time with them talking about the history. And when you go back and you see the things they did, they had a merry-go-round there at one time.
Oh, okay.
And when you think about that, and this is in the mid-'60s, there was a local group that got together, one of the block clubs, that was involved in that. And just to think, wonder where that merry-go-round is right now. But all of the wonderful things that had been done there, and all of the people that were there during that time, we're going to talk about those people. We're going to mention those names, and hopefully we'll give some of those people the credit, the overdue credit, for doing a wonderful job. Again, John, let's talk about what's going to happen on May 17th. That's a Saturday.
I would like to add from Joy Park Community Center, the Joy Park Steppers, our drum and drill corps, will be performing. We have a commitment from Jerusalem. They have the Heavenly Steppers. They're an outstanding group. So I think we're going to surprise people with the amount of youth enthusiasm and the amount of talent. We have Stewart Elementary School. They have a drum corps. They'll be performing, and I know they're going to do an outstanding job. So it's just going to be an extraordinary opportunity to come out and see what's happening and really take a step for families and an opportunity to come to a community gathering where I think you'll be excited and really motivated to be involved in what Akron is all about.
Now, I do want to say again, the actual title of that date is Take a Step for Families. It's a day of hope for children, a 12-hour marathon walk for kids from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's going to promote awareness of foster care as well as adoption. It's Saturday, May 17th at Lane Miller South Sports Complex. That's the official name. Lane Miller South Sports Complex. It's located on Vernon Boulevard between Lane Street and East Avenue. It's going to be a great day. The mayor will be there, city officials will be there, and I just want to say that it's just it just goes to show you that our city is moving forward. The growth in our city with the recent passage of Issue 10, and with these recreation areas, whether they're buildings and or complexes like we have now, our city is moving forward. They're preparing to serve young people, to give them activity, to give them something to do, and the Lane Miller South Sports Complex is just one of them. Once again, let's talk about this day. Let's line it up. 8 a.m. What's going to happen, Butch? What's going to start at 8 a.m.?
Well, at 8 a.m., like John knows too, that's when we start the torch walk for the first one. We take the torch, we walk around with the celebration. I'm going to hope you'll be there calling off particular names, and
Yes.
the mayor will be there calling off names as well. So that's going to be the opening part, but the 11 o'clock is going to be the real celebration of it, though.
I think I like to add that the Harold Stubbs Walk,
Yes.
which is going to be, I think, a real motivating walk. We've asked the United Black Firefighters to walk in, and the Akron police officers, the black organization, to walk during that time, and we're hoping for a really nice turnout, and I think it'll be
I'd just like to add that many of our local leaders, I just want to, Ida B. Wells walk, Vernon Odom walk, Ed Davis, a former city councilman and city council president, Helen Arnold walk, Harold K. Stubbs walk, and there are some others that are national leaders that we're going to honor with an hour's walk. And we want to ask individuals to come out on May 17th. It's on a Saturday. Walk with us for as long as you can. You may not be able to walk an hour, but you might be able to walk 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You may only be able to do one lap around the track. But come out, find out who those particular leaders are that you're going to be walking for. You know, maybe you want to ask someone in your community to donate maybe $1 for your walk, maybe $5 for your walk. And all of the monies will go to awareness of adoption and also for foster care. That's May 17th, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Lane Miller South Sports Complex. That's on Vernon Odom Boulevard between Lane Street and East Avenue. John, you want to add something else to what's going to take place that day?
If I could do anything, I just want to thank the community for their support and our recent vote for Issue 10, and just our city officials for what they're doing for our community and the enthusiasm that everyone really brings to Akron and what we're all about.
Yes, and Butch?
Like John just said, for real, just the community event. Bring them out. Let's show the state of our art complex. We had a good agreement from City Council, the mayor, to come together to really put this together with the head of Lonzie Armstrong, with John, of course. I mean, it all started with John's vision, truthfully. I mean, he put a lot of work, and I watched him late nights, put a lot of work into this, and going back and forth over things and selling his dream to the community, selling his dream to the people he needed to sell it to.
John, what's the telephone number for someone to call?
375-2805.
All right, we want everyone that's interested in coming out to help celebrate Lane Field to call that number, 330-375-2805. That's Saturday, May 17th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's when the walk's going to take place. If you just want to come out to celebrate, the celebration is going to take place at 11 a.m. The mayor will be there, council president, other individuals from the mayor's staff will be there as well. You're invited to be with us. By the way, I'm going to be the MC, and I thank you and the city of Akron for asking me to take on that honor. Come out, be with us Saturday, May 17th, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and at 11 a.m. for the celebration. John Hafford from the city of Akron, and of course, three-time Olympian Butch Reynolds here with us. We want to thank you. Bye-bye for now.